Hi, this is Mark Nelson. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick demo of some of the Kafka-compatible APIs supported by Transactional Event Queues in the new Oracle Database 23c. I'm going to cover some of the same information that is in this blog post. The link is in the description below. I have Oracle 23c and Kafka both running on this machine. And I have my demo application ready to go here. This is a Maven application. In my POM, you can see I'm using the Oracle Kafka library, which also pulls in the standard Apache Kafka library. And I have profiles so that I can easily run my producer and consumer. So let's take a look at the consumer. Right now, it is set up to run against transactional event queues. I'll show you that, and then I will change it to run against Kafka. This consumer starts by setting up standard properties like the bootstrap servers, group ID, and the deserializers. And there are also some extra properties we use for Oracle, which I will comment out later on. We are going to subscribe to a topic called TEQ. Then we will loop and look for messages. And when we find some messages, we will print out the headers and the body content, then do a commit. And when we have seen the number of messages we expect, which is 4,000, we will just exit. So this is a relatively simple consumer. So let's go ahead and run it. You can see that it connects, and then every 10 seconds or so, it will print out a message saying it did not get any records yet, and it is retrying. There it is there. Now let's take a look at the producer. Like the consumer, this is using the Oracle import for Kafka producer. It has the Oracle database address for the bootstrap server. Here are the serializers and other standard properties, the Oracle specific properties, and this one is also fairly simple. It's going to create 4,000 messages, put some data into the headers, some data in the message body, and then produce them onto that same topic, TEQ. Let's run the producer. You can see it put the 4,000 messages onto the topic. The consumer read them all and printed them out. It got the 4,000 that it expected and then exited. Now let's change this to work with Kafka instead of transactional event queues so you can see how similar it is. I will change this first import statement. I'll remove the Oracle Kafka consumer and replace it with the standard Kafka consumer. I'll change this property here so that the bootstrap server is my Kafka cluster instead of my database. And I'll get rid of these extra Oracle specific properties. We could leave them, they would just be ignored. So now we have a completely standard Kafka consumer that will connect to my Kafka cluster and consume 4,000 messages from a topic called TEQ. Let's run that. Just like before, it will sit and wait. Let's update our producer. We'll do the same thing. We'll remove the Oracle Kafka producer and replace it with the standard one. Swap the bootstrap server address and get rid of these extra properties. Let's run that. And as expected, pretty much the same thing happens. The producer produced the messages and the consumer got them and printed them out. Let me also show you some of the REST APIs. I have a cheat sheet, so I don't need to type them all. The first thing I will do is use the Kafka REST API to create a topic. You can see this is a post request with a JSON payload. Topic name TEQ and petition count 6. And I'm using the Confluent Kafka REST proxy endpoint and the create topic API. Here is my cluster ID. And you can see it returned HTTP 201 created and some details of the topic. Now I'll do the same thing with transactional event queues. You can see the request is very similar. I've added authentication, same payload. The URL path has an extra prefix, but the ending is the same with a different cluster ID, obviously. And here is the HTTP 201 and some details of the topic. Let's try the Kafka list topics API. We get back a list of topics in JSON format. Notice the first one is the TEQ topic we just created. Now we will try the same API against Oracle Transactional Event Queues. In this case, we only have that one topic that we just created. Let's view details of a topic, first in Kafka. Again, we get back various information. We can use JQ to make that easier to read. There's information about petitions and various other things. And of course, there's a similar API in transactional event queues, which gives similar information. Now let's try the Kafka delete topic REST API. We'll delete that same topic. You can see it was deleted. And we can list topics again, and we see that it is indeed gone. Let's look at that same API for transactional event queues. Same result, and we can also list the topics, and we'll get an empty list because the topic is gone. This has been a quick demo of both the Java API for Kafka and the REST API for Kafka running against Oracle Transactional Event Queues. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.